June 2025. Just off the coast of Naples, fishermen hear a deadly hiss. The ocean starts boiling like it hasn't in centuries. But this time, the threat is different. Something terrifying is waking up deep underwater. Massive cracks are ripping open the seafloor. Toxic gas is pumping out at record speeds. Every scientific safety rule just broke. Nobody knows when this disaster stops. 3 million lives are on the line right now. Your family could be next. The warning starts with one terrified man. A fisherman stands freezing on his tiny boat. His hands shake as he films. The calm sunrise is gone. The water churns and hisses like a boiling cauldron. The timestamp reads 5:41 a. He whispers a desperate prayer over the roar. He pans his camera across the horror. That boiling patch stretches hundreds of yards. Deadly steam rises off the water. The smell of sulfur burns his throat. Curious crews drift closer to investigate. Then panic sets in. They cut their lines and run for their lives. Men scream warnings across the water. Others just stare in silence. They watch the kill zone expand. News hits the harbor like a bomb. Elders whisper legends from their grandfathers. The sea boiled right before the 1538 apocalypse. But nobody has ever seen this live. Locals in bars trade terrifying rumors. Fish are gone and nets come up empty. The footage explodes on social media. Panic forces the Port Authority to act. By noon, emergency crews and scientists swarm the docks. Experts demand the fisherman's phone. They analyze the terror frame by frame. Scientists map the danger zone. They take frantic notes on the smell and timing. Every second counts. A witness claims the ocean sounded like it was breathing. The evidence is undeniable. This isn't just one small leak. The bubbles trace a massive fracture line. Something violent is punching its way up from the deep. Fishing is suicide now. Captains refuse to leave the harbor. They know death is rising from the depths. Top volcanologists analyze the footage against satellite data. The results are terrifying. Is the supervolcano just restless, or is the seafloor about to collapse completely? The fisherman gets no answers. He only has the nightmare of that morning. An ancient monster is waking up, and it's hungry. Let's look back at 1538. The coastline started acting strange. It confused everyone. The ground shot up overnight. The ocean retreated instantly. Boats were left stranded on dry mud. Locals saw the water boil violently. Thick clusters of bubbles hissed at them. A giant was waking up. History says the bay literally boiled. The air reeked of sulfur. Nets caught only dead fish. The ocean felt sick. Then came the big one. September 29th brought a massive earthquake. The earth ripped open near the village. Violence reigned for a week. Ash and steam choked the sky. Fire and rocks rained on homes. Families fled for their lives. A brand new mountain grew from nothing. The coastline changed in days. The earth swallowed entire fields. The map was redrawn instantly. One village was buried forever. The bay never looked the same again. Survivors left us letters and diaries. They serve as a warning. They describe hell on earth. Constant earthquakes ripped the ground apart. Fire poured from the soil. The birds went silent. The air tasted wrong. Nature was screaming a warning. This isn't ancient history. It's a promise. The quiet times are over. The same monster is still down there. Rising ground and cracking earth are the signs. History is our survival guide. We must read the signals before the earth attacks again. A research ship sits just off the harbor right now. It's hunting for the truth. The deck is packed with sensors. Dr. Ferrante scans the sonar screens. She's looking for the kill switch. The data confirms our worst fears. It's not a theory anymore. A massive chain of vents is cracking open underwater. This isn't random luck. It's a deliberate pattern. It traces the ancient ring fault exactly. The old scar is ripping open again. Pressure is building. The team mapped dozens of new vents recently. They are everywhere. The chain stretches for hundreds of yards. Robot subs dive into the darkness. Their cameras hunt for the source. They find massive fractures in the seabed. Superheated gas blasts out in continuous streams. It looks like shimmering death. Sensors scream warnings about heat and gas levels. The vents pulse with distant earthquakes. The earth is breathing. Surveys from 2023 and 24 reveal a nightmare. A hidden danger lurks right off the coast. This massive crack runs parallel to the shoreline. It connects directly to faults nearby where people live. Deadly vents stretch for nearly a kilometer underwater. These fissures link together like a ticking time bomb. It matches the worst-case seismic models we have seen. Earthquake clusters trace this exact same path beneath the bay. The danger lines up perfectly from land to sea. The ground lifting up your house is warping the ocean floor. New paths for explosive gas are opening right now. The most active vents sit where the ground rises fastest. It is exactly where the earthquakes are hitting hardest. We see fresh scars and mud domes on the seafloor. Cracks are widening fast, proving the danger is growing. These vents are spewing constant heat and toxic flow. It is undeniable proof of a system ready to blow. Water tests show high levels of magmatic gas. Deep, violent forces are clearly at work here. This is not just some scientific curiosity. It is a direct highway for pressure between land and sea. This weakness could channel destruction right to your doorstep. We can finally see how the danger connects underwater. Every new crack screams that this threat is spreading. The hazard zone is much bigger than we ever thought. We must link these underwater threats to the shaking on land. The risk to this crowded coast is skyrocketing. Sensors across the huge caldera are tracking every single shake. They catch every tiny tilt in the ground beneath you. The National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology runs this web. Data floods into Naples and Rome every second. Since 2005, the ground rose 1.4 meters. The rise is getting faster and more dangerous every year. Some areas jumped 4 centimeters in just weeks. It is not just lifting, the pressure is breaking things. Quake swarms are now a terrifying daily reality. In June 2025, a massive quake struck, magnitude 4.6, the strongest ever recorded here. Over 2,500 quakes hit in that single month. They cracked walls and left thousands terrified. These quakes strike shallow, less than 2 kilometers down. They trace the hidden faults right under your feet. We are tracking tens of thousands of tremors annually. The rock is snapping under unbearable stress. Superheated steam is blasting out of the ground. It is laced with carbon dioxide and helium-3. Since the mid-2000s, helium levels have spiked. They are nearly 3 times higher than the atmosphere. This proves deep magma is pumping gas into the system. It is a slow, silent buildup to disaster. The magma below is directly fueling the danger above. Hundreds of tons of gas escape every single day. The rock holding it all back is failing. Tests show the rock is losing 40% of its strength. Constant stress is shattering its ability to hold on. Every quake chips away at your safety. The crust cannot hold this explosive pressure forever. Think of bending a paperclip until it snaps. The ground has been bent too many times to survive. Scientists see all these red flags merging now. Rising ground and weakening rock spell imminent failure. The system is buckling under the strain. The barrier between safety and catastrophe is thinning fast. We are watching a landscape prepare to collapse. It is no longer if the crust will break. The only question is when disaster strikes. Inside the control center, Dr. Russo watches the screens. The seismic lines are screaming danger. Models used to tell us how to prepare, but today's data defies every prediction we have. The new simulations are terrifying even the experts. We are looking at 4 distinct nightmares now. Scenario 1 is endless terror without the explosion. Ground keeps moving, but the Big Bang waits. Scenario 2 is a massive steam explosion. Boiling water blasts through rock, hurling debris everywhere. Scenario 3 sees magma breaching the bay floor. This triggers explosive jets and deadly local tsunamis. The final scenario is the one we all fear most. Fresh magma tears through the crust in a fiery rage. Pyroclastic flows incinerate everything across the coast. Forget the old survival models. They are dead wrong. New offshore fractures just destroyed our safety predictions. The data is terrifyingly chaotic now. We cannot predict the single biggest threat anymore. This beast shifts modes instantly. All 4 nightmare scenarios are now on the table. Emergency crews are scrambling to prepare for the impossible. They know the unthinkable is now a real possibility. More than 3 million people are sitting ducks right now. Imagine if that was your family. They live on the most dangerous volcanic ground on Earth. Their daily routine is a death trap. Naples and the coast are totally boxed in. Escape routes will gridlock in mere minutes. The ground already swallowed homes back in the 80s. 40,000 people fled and never came back. Whole districts turned into ghost towns for years. Now officials are quietly testing alarms, fearing the worst. Here's the scary truth: evacuation plans might fail. Superheated gas could vaporize schools in minutes. Planners practice traffic control, but they are terrified. They know the clock is ticking. A small blast forces tens of thousands to run, and Vesuvius is waiting right next door. Pressure builds underground, possibly triggering a chain reaction. Imagine two supervolcanoes erupting together. This isn't just a drill for safety officers. It is a fight for their own families. How do you move an entire city instantly? There is no way to do it without panic. Forget the math, look at the faces. Real families are living in the shadow of death. The ground is shifting right now beneath Naples. Even the scientists admit they are flying blind. This is the most crowded volcanic zone on Earth. Their nightmare could become your tragedy. Stop hoping for predictions and start preparing. Nature is breaking all the rules today. Will you be ready when the sirens scream? Comment your location and share this warning now.